You know what sells? Your treatment plan. If you want them to get glasses, if you want them to follow your management, you have to sell yourself. And all of these things, they're buying you. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast, we are building amazing practices. We're trying to go from amazing doctors to extraordinary CEOs. Now I want your practice to be extraordinary in its specialty care. Dry eye is my focus. You can apply this to any specialty you choose, but I'll go from a dry eye bent. We have the closing thought of the episode. This is the Ultimate OD Podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Thank you for likes, listens, everyone that tunes in every week, sends me messages. I'm not going to lie to you. I make these podcasts and then I go about my day and think about new podcasts to come up with and put them out there. And I really don't consider sometimes that people are listening to this, that they're taking the information and they're applying it to their practices. I do this, selfishly for myself. This helps me organize my thoughts, helps me think about what I'm doing at the office, how I can be a better doctor, how I can grow my practice. And when you guys reach out and send me emails, I'm reminded that you guys are listening, that there's other people in the fight that are doing the same thing as me, and that gives me more juice. It makes me want to produce better episodes, to give better content. One of the things that happened last, it was October or November, I went to P3. I was able to present at that meeting. I gave like a 30-minute presentation and I put the podcast up there. And in my mind, I'm like, I have to raise the level of the podcast. And if you look after that podcast or after that meeting, I believe I've went to another level for the podcast. We're a little more organized. It has a little more meat to the bone. I'm trying to get to the next level, and I'm focusing on trying to be a CEO, to build our businesses to levels that I know are attainable because I've seen people there, but I'm not there yet. The evolution of what I've done is just start the practice, and I would talk about how do you dispense? How do you talk about AR codings? What's the conversation in the exam room? Operator clinician stuff, to now, what do I do as a business owner? What strategic moves do I make? How do I view my time? And it's been a great transition. It's been a great evolution. Someday I will look back at every single episode of the podcast and remember the journey I was on. And I think that's cool that I'm able to put that out there, put that into the ether, and I love sharing it with you. So if there's things that I've done that have helped you, please let me know. That gives me juice to keep making these episodes. If there's things that you have questions about, reach out. I love to answer those questions. I'm not going to lie to you. I have the office, 4 kids, wife that wants my time at times too, apparently. I don't know. March Madness, family. I might not get you right away, but I will get you, I promise. So the past 2 weeks, what we talked about was being an amazing doctor versus an extraordinary doctor. Last week, we talked about being an amazing owner versus an extraordinary owner. Today, we're building on that mentality, and I'm going to talk specifically about building a dry eye specialty. Now, I'm going to talk all about dry eye because that's my passion, that's my love, that's what we're building right now, and I'm seeing tremendous success. It's the area that I can speak most confidently about. But I have done the same process for other things. I just didn't have the stamina to see them through. The steps that I tell you right now, you can apply to myopia management. You can apply to vision therapy, ocular disease. You can apply to all of them if you have enough bandwidth, if you have a big enough team. But these concepts aren't talked about enough. And again, I will share exactly what I do because it's not what I do, it's the consistency in doing them on a daily basis. When you're presented with an opportunity, seeing it and saying no. And I've had that come up recently. Big opportunity that I think In the past, I would have jumped all over, but it didn't align with what my vision is. I'm saying no. Strategy. So let me start off with this mentality I have. I think one of the biggest missed opportunities for optometry today is dry eye. If you are not treating dry eye, you are missing the boat, my friends. Now, millions of people suffer from these symptoms: burning, irritation of their eyes, fluctuating vision, contact lens intolerance, and too many practices, big practices in the area, artificial tears, warm compresses, supplements. We'll see you back in a year. Dry eye isn't a condition that needs to be treated. It's a nuisance. It's something that is stopping them from buying their year's supply of contacts, and they don't care. Or making them not be happy with their progressives. And why can't they just be happy? Right? Dry eye is a chronic condition, and we are on screens more than ever. The need is there. And I know what you're thinking, because I've heard this. I've talked to other doctors, even doctors that have bought equipment. I don't see enough dry eye patients. Patients won't pay for this treatment. I don't want to sell. Oh my goodness, I don't want to sell. That kills me when I say that. Every time, so let's give you a scenario. I hate to sell, right? If you made money every time you sold latanoprost, would you not prescribe latanoprost? No, you would, because it's first line. It's what you do. It's best for the patient. You know they have to pay for that. It used to be expensive. There's different glaucoma meds, right? If we're treating glaucoma, you don't blink twice. You don't flinch. But dry eye, I don't want to sell. I feel like I'm selling. You know what sells? Your treatment plan. If you want them to get glasses, if you want them to follow your management, you have to sell yourself. And all of these things, they're buying you. Right? You want someone to work for you? They're buying you. They need to believe that you can do what you say you can do. I don't want to sell. Get out of here. That bothers me so much whenever someone says that. I don't like selling. I don't like talking about money. Okay. Don't talk about money. Talk about the benefits of the treatment. What it will do for them. How it will solve their problems. You don't have to say anything about money. But if you have something, they have a debilitating condition, they're not getting the vision they want, and you have a solution, boom. That's selling, right? Oh, don't get me started. But I'm not sure when to recommend advanced therapies. I get that. That's why you collaborate. That's why you talk to your reps. Now, again, reps everything's the best thing ever, right? That's why I'm here. There's other dry eye people. There's other doctors that work with these companies that literally are in the trenches. Not everyone's going to tell you the truth. I've ran across that. It's the best thing since sliced bread, and it sucks. But if they can do it, you can do it. If another person can accomplish this task, you can accomplish this task. You can do it too. Dry eye is everywhere. Even if you are worried about the things I just talked about, it is in your chair on a daily basis. When I talk to other doctors and tell them that we sign up like 20 treatments a month, right? And we're not even scratching the surface of what we can do. But 20 a month. You must have a really good referral network. Not really. We're building one. We're trying to. But they're in my chair. They're the primary care patients that I see on a daily basis that have had problems, and now we have solutions. You know what they want? The solution. Period. Like, it's there. So, number one, say you don't want to buy the equipment. You don't want to treat it. Diagnose it. If you saw glaucoma, even if you didn't have an OCT, you diagnose it, you refer. MAC-DGen, advanced disease, diagnose, refer. Corneal issues, diagnose and refer. You do that. Do the same for dry eye. Your patients appreciate it. But you know what's going to happen? Those glaucoma patients, those MAC-DGen patients, those cornea patients, they always ask the question, at least to me, we can't do that here, doc? Not this. It's a little above my pay grade. But they'd rather stay with you. You're closer to their homes. They trust you. You give a better experience, a better environment. They want their care from you. Remember how we talked 2 weeks ago about being an extraordinary doctor? That leads to you building this dry eye centers of excellence because you're extraordinary. They trust you. They want care from you. See how it all builds? And you have a staff that's empowered to help make this happen. It all builds on itself. Those 2 episodes are prerequisites for building this dry eye center of excellence, but you have to diagnose it. So the best, most important thing I've done is take mammography on every patient. And you'll get these people that will say, oh, charge for it, get the money for it. That's small thinking. We charge for retina, like Opto's retina photos, right? Sure. We don't for the mammography. Why? Because that mammography, if there's something wrong, I have something that is a bigger thing. The screening is more important than a $50 copay. Way more important. Right? Do what you will. I'm sure you can find a system where, pay for these and you're screening them out. But people that won't pay for that photo, when you see a problem, when you have a health condition, you know what they do? Help me fix the stock. People that don't care about their health don't go see doctors. Even if they have a $0 copay and they're in your chair, something made them get out of bed that day and come to your office. Take advantage of that. They showed up to see you. Even if they've never bought glasses from your office. Drives you nuts. I know. I live it. If they keep coming back to see you, they trust you. They might not want your retail. They might not want your glasses, but they want your advice. They want your clinical knowledge. They have a condition that needs treatment. Let's go. Make it happen. So I always think mammography is the biggest thing. Know about inflammation. Don't just prescribe warm compresses. If they have inflamed lids, warm compresses are the enemy. So many people have come to my office. They just keep telling me to do warm compresses. I'm like, your lids are inflamed. So much telangiectasias. Stop doing warm compresses. You know what they love? To hear they're not doing it wrong. They're not the issue. They were misdiagnosed. They weren't being treated properly. I've won them over. Let's go down another path. Right? Also, how are they doing these things? Do you have videos to educate? Do you educate them? Does your staff know how to do that? Do they realize how important that is to the outcome of their care? Empower your staff, right? Now, you'll find, and this is how I started off, once you start diagnosing, so I diagnose and say, hey, I need you to come back for a dry eye evaluation or tear film and lid evaluation, right? And I'm like, let's see if they even come back. And they did. They kept coming back. So you know what that made me think? Well, maybe there's something to this. If they keep coming back, they recognize enough that there's an issue. You'll get people that come back and they don't know why, but they came back because they trust you. Your job is to get better at education. I've gotten much better at that. They know why they're coming back. Okay? Well, once they keep coming back and you see that you've built that rapport, that trust, the next thing is you invest in some technologies. And I have them all, right? I have OptiLight. I have OptiLift. Just added that. Ask me questions. I love both those devices. I have Tixel. You're thinking, if you know anything about this, a lot of you probably don't because they're really niche things. But do you need OptiLift and do you need Tixel? Yes. When you look at from an aesthetic standpoint, Tixel is very aesthetic. Probably can treat the upper lid better. OptiLift feels a lot better from a comfort standpoint. More likely to be repeated. Quicker results. Very effective for that lower lid. Will affect the upper lid as well. Also combines radio frequency. So you're getting blink mechanics and you're also getting RF. Tixel, you get some thermomechanical action, affect the glands, but you're getting a lot of aesthetic benefit. There is a position for each of those in a dry eye clinic. I'm a little more advanced. one or the other would be best for you. If you want to know what one fits your clinic, give me a shout. I'll let you know. And I have the Forma I from Enmode. Now, I know Optilift has radio frequency. A little bit different than Enmodes. Enmodes, I think, is better at RF strictly, right? But do you need that and this? My clinic, there's a position for it. There's a reason we do it. Talk to me. But investing in those therapies, we can get to the root cause. We can get to the foundation of why they're having issues versus treating their symptoms. Now, there's a business aspect to this, cash pay, huge investment, right? The worst thing you can do is be halfway in, toe in the water, and buy all this and think it's going to change your mindset. Not going to change a thing. If you're not committed to it, if you don't believe in it, it will sit in the corner and collect dust. So make sure you've thought this through. Another thing is, I have a vision. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm going to do. I have no problem buying this stuff. I also know that I still see patients. I will get the patients through this. If you have associates that you're highly dependent on, that you don't think you can do it, you got to include them in the conversation. And with everything I bought here, even the OptiLift, I talked to my associate. Now, I was much more aggressive on the OptiLift because if you haven't thought about it strategically, it seems like there's too much overlap with Tixel. There's not. I know what I can do. I know what I want to be, where I want to be. So I went at it really aggressively. But again, that's an advanced clinic. We are pretty good at what we do. We've been doing this, eat, breathing, and sleeping this for a couple of years now, 3 to 4. My associate knows everything about all the technologies. Now, implementing them, that's a little different, right? I'm going to help her with that, but she knows the science behind all of it. She's great at identifying patients. We together have worked to produce a great screening process for what situations, what patients work with what device. Why? We're good at what we do. You will learn that along the way, or you'll talk to people such as myself, and we'll help you get there. Okay? But I like getting to that point. Now, again, when you're building this clinic, you have to realize that you cannot go all in on everything. When I go to my group, my P3, my people, one of the things that I recognized when I first went there was that I thought I had a good dry eye specialty. And then I went and looked at them, and I did not. Every single person there was further ahead than me. Every single one. Like, there's 8 in my group, and I think I was the 8th. All 7 of them better than me. That pissed me off. Right? If they can do it, I can do it. So I took their knowledge, their insight, their wisdom, and I've grown it. I'm now, like, I'm up there with them. You know, there's some aspects where I think I am doing it better. And if they had asked me why, it'd be because I say no to a lot of the other things that they do. You know, whether it's Avalux lenses, myopia management, some of these other things, optical, they might be doing those better. I think I'm pretty good at, I'm very good at dry eye. Ocular health and wellness, we do well. And then optical, we're above average. I don't think we're great. Okay? Some of these offices are amazing at every things that I'm not, but they have not went all in like I have. They're still putting their resources amongst other things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then don't go all in by buying all these pieces of equipment and thinking that it's going to make your office better. Right? If I was buying all these dry eye things and then I was buying a bunch of stuff for ocular disease, I better have a plan for who's going to see those ocular disease patients. And we really don't have time on our schedule, so it's something that we do, but it's not our focus. Right? Practices try to do it all. Even me, within my dry eye space, I was like, yeah, let's do aesthetics and this. I am much more ocular surface disease focused. We focus on orbit and lids. You know, the orbit, glands, lids, that area. Forehead, full face. We do a little, like a photofacial with the IPL. We talk about full face a little bit with Pixel, but that's not our emphasis anymore. I didn't know that 6 months ago. I'm like, hey, let's put it out there. We have some lash serums, not our focus. I put it out there, I tested it, narrow it down. You have to be like a laser. Extraordinary practices, extraordinary CEOs will choose where they're leading the practice. Expertise comes from focus. Where is your focus? Part of strategy is knowing what to say no to. And that also is what are you going to say yes to? If I'm saying yes to all these advanced therapies, well, we also need clinical training. My staff needs to be up to speed. I kid you not. Weekly, we talk about dry eye. Weekly, we talk about our signups, how we're doing them, going over the process. You think that you're just going to give them a process that is going to happen. We talk about it on a daily basis. I kid you not. Hey, are you doing this? Make sure we're doing this. Reminding them. I can't do that for everything, right? Staff education is so crucial, getting everyone rowing in the same direction. It's taken me a year to get this to this point. And even when doing that, I have to balance it because if I go too hard into the dry eye, some of our core values start to slip. I get so excited about what I want, and then that foundation goes. And that's two things. Imagine throwing in myopia management, optical, and all these other things and expecting your staff to have that much bandwidth. You don't have that much bandwidth. And then once you invest in the training, once you invest in the technology, the fun part is you make this a service line. You make yourself stand out. Dedicated consultations, structured treatment pathways, combination therapies, maintenance protocols. Patients recognize specialized care. They go to one office, yeah, we have this, red light therapy. Let's do it. You put on this mask. Okay, then what now, doc? We are beyond that. We have this protocol. This is how we're going to do this. Then we're going to see you back. Now we're going to maintain you in maintenance plans and how we're going to manage this condition. This is what I've done with this patient. This is how we've got here. We have case studies we can share with you. Oh, this is not just something they dabble in. This is what they do. When I talk to other doctors, hey, I'd love to help you out. Have you guys done this? Oh, I haven't thought about this. No worries. That's fine. I just want to know where you're at. You talk a different language when you get knee deep into it. I have a doctor that I talk to that loves scleral lenses. I'm like, hey, I will send you all my scleral lenses. I do not want to go down that rabbit hole. That's not my sandbox to play in. He's like, why? They're incredibly profitable. For you, man, not for me. Our focus is this. My patients will appreciate going to see him. They recognize specialized care. Period. You can get that good, and that makes me feel awesome. And on the same token, like one of the most fulfilling things when you get good at a specialty is that you'll get other doctors that want to do it, that want to put their foot in the water. And the biggest fulfillment I get is when other doctors reach out to me and have them ask me how I did it or what I did or what I'm doing because I was that doctor. And one of the biggest mistakes I made early on was insulating myself, staying away from everyone, and just trying to do it alone because I was insecure. I got here because I finally reached out to other people that are better, more far along than I am, and they helped me. They took their hand and pulled me up. They didn't push me down. I love doing that for other doctors. If you have questions, let me know. I work with all the companies, Luminous, Enmode, Novoxyl. I have a good relationship with Dompe, Extemvi we do a ton of. Like, if you want to get into dry eye, reach out to me. I have went down every single rabbit hole you can. I've seen the areas that it works. I love sharing this knowledge. I love having this this ability to help other practices grow because in my mind, the more that patients know about dry eye and ocular surface disease, a rising tide raises all ships. When it came to like progressive lenses and glasses, if no one knew about glasses, you wouldn't see all these things, all these optical shops, all our optometry private practice offices. Because everyone knows about these things, that has helped us all be better. Now, sometimes we're like, oh, corporate's ruining this or whatnot. Corporate, though, the marketing and stuff that they do, people hear that and they want to get it from you. You get more of this dry eye stuff out into the world, we'll all be better for it. So just remember, at the end of the day, amazing doctors treat symptoms, extraordinary doctors build solutions. Dry eye represents one of the biggest opportunities for optometry today. Not only for the patients and their health, but for practices to grow. And that's why I think you all should embrace dry eye as a specialty and go all in. Now, again, you have to love it. You have to have a passion for it. But I do, and it's thriving. So I'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and I will leave you with this. It is very hard, very, very hard to get good at swimming without swimming. It's very hard to get good at cooking by watching unlimited content about cooking and reading cookbooks. You gotta cook. You want to be good at dry eye. You want to be good at private practice. You want to be good at leading. You have to go get on the field and you have to do it. You're going to learn, you're going to grow, or you're going to succeed. No other options. But you got to do it. That's what I have. Dr. Lily